January 30th, 2024. Welcome back to Pittsburgh Sports 365. This is episode number 15, and I think we are going to have a short one. As many of you know, I will be moving my residence, my studio, and my business to another state. Personal reasons why: family, outrageous taxes, I must say. Anyway, well, I welcome you back and thank everybody yesterday for the birthday wishes for my 47th birthday. Love y'all. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Tons and tons and tons of birthday wishes. I really, really appreciate it. Big news out of the Steelers organization. To start, it looks like they are going to pick up Najee Harris's fifth-year option, which he earned that last year alone. All that hard running down the stretch. I think he's done a good job. 1,000 yards, 3 years. I think he did good. The last year or so, they added that extra game, but still, he was going to town before that. He's a hard runner. He's an angry runner. I love it. And also, it looks like the Steelers are going to hire former Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Most recently, you might remember him as the Atlanta Falcons head coach. Excuse me. Being a head coach and an offensive coordinator, in my mind, are two different things. He was a decent offensive coordinator. Like, there really wasn't a stack of weapons on Tennessee that I can remember. Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, yeah, those are two decent guys. Henry's pretty good. He still made it to an AFC championship game. Didn't they? They went deep into the playoffs with him at AOC, I will tell you that. I remember that. Um, Mr. Rooney said that he wants to see more success in the playoffs, which I agree. And like I've stated 100 times before in the past, I would rather have one shot at the playoffs every year and have a shot every single year to make it and try to fix the problems as we can. Because as we all know, there's 31 other teams that don't ever make the Super Bowl. That's the way it is every year. One team goes the distance all the way, two go to the final dance. But I would rather have repeatedly, year after year after year after year, a head coach that's going to keep us mathematically included in the playoff race all the way up until the end. I think only one time under Tomlin's tenure as head coach we were mathematically eliminated. Before the final game of the season came. You get some of them folks, they don't appreciate having a chance every year. I do. It's better than some ball clubs where they get one chance to make the playoffs every 10 or 15 years. We're not doing that. I'm not sure of what they're going to pay him, but he was a pretty good offensive coordinator in my mind. As Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator, I don't recall them being the worst. He was a better offensive coordinator than he was a head coach. TJ Watt got offensive or AFC Defensive Player of the Year, which he should have been the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, but they ball ride what's his name in Cleveland? PP head. Myles Garrett, chump. I hate the Browns. I hate living in Cleveland. I'm glad I'm leaving. But, you know, it's a little bit off not having the Steelers playing. And it's just taking some getting used to. The Pirates have pretty much, according to some guys, made the dollar store run of the mill off season acquisitions and roster moves, which is okay. Um, I think in my mind that if they continue to build, that they possibly could have a World Series by 2029. That's my guess. I'd like to see it before I die, which is terrible. Penguins took down the Canadians on the 27th, Saturday, January in overtime, 3-2. That's good. The Penguins are now 22, 17, and 7. Could be a lot worse. They had a blowout there for a while. They lost a bunch of games in a row after a win streak. They need to have one hell of an explosion to make the Stanley Cups. They had a pitch. I think it was a Pittsburgh night, which is okay. I wish I was still there. Those are the ones that are fun. They're fun. It would be nice to go see Sidney Crosby at 36 years old, still playing like he's 26. That's rare for an athlete, especially hockey where they get beat up. You put your body through hell playing hockey. I never played professional ice hockey, but I did play some deck hockey. That's painful enough. I couldn't imagine getting blasted on skates. Me personally, I'm not clumsy, but I barely hold it together. I barely hold it together on ice skates. The top scorer for the Penguins this year is Sidney Crosby. He's got 27 goals in 46 games played. Right below him is Jake Gensel with 22 goals, 46 games. Eventually, Malkin is 16 goals in 46 games, and then Carlson is 7 goals in 46. Like to see him make a run for the cup, but they better get in it right now if that's what they want. And speaking back to the Steelers, in my personal opinion, mind you, I don't work for the Steelers. I do have a contact with a few people that do. Um, I haven't asked for permission to disclose their names, so I won't. Um, but I look for Mitch Trubisky to go. I also look for Patrick Peterson to either transition full time to strong safety or free safety. I don't even think free safety would be a good idea because you don't want him free rolling around. He's a Hall of Fame player for sure, but I don't know. He's not a defensive back material anymore. He's not a cornerback. Anytime he played corner, he got smoked. But I get it. He's older. He's trying to extend his career. When he got shifted to safety because of all the injuries, didn't do too bad. See, my thing is I don't understand it. Minka Fitzpatrick's supposed to be the best. Look at the zeros in his box stat boxes all this past year. Like, come on, man. I mean, even Patrick Peterson backed you up and got a pick. You don't have none, no interceptions, no sacks, no fumble recoveries, nothing. Like there was nothing there. And you know, my personal opinion, and other people agreed with me online in the group that it just seems like every time Minka came back last year, the defense folded. I don't get it. Like, how do you have Patrick Peterson and then some dude, Eric Rowe, that you have in safety, and that's the weeks they do good. and you bring back the person you traded a first round pick for that normally in every other season has made splash plays. But this year, Minka made no splash plays. And it seemed like every time they inserted him back into the lineup after an injury, that caused the defense to have a gaping hole in it for some reason. Like, if you're still hurt, stop being selfish. Just don't play. Excuse me. Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. I not last night, but the night before, there were some people outside my house being silly. They almost had to get a Yinzer ass whooping. It just wouldn't stop. They left though. Ain't nothing scarier than a Yinzer coming out of a house in his underwear at 3:30 in the morning, pissed. I didn't even really have to say nothing. I just went out, gave him a dirty look, and that was it for them, huh? Yeah. I really want the Steelers to keep Eric Rowe. He's an awesome depth piece. Honestly, he really is. And he's not that much money if you think about how much they're paying Minka to get nothing. I hope to see Cam Hayward back this year. We all love Cam. He's a vet. We love him. There's his jersey right there. Why is this damn camera backwards? It is backwards. No, I gotta fix that. Put his jersey's right here. This one. In case it's backwards. It looks like it's forward as far as I can see in my monitor. But I mean, they do. The bottom line is they need to get it together. Um, I think they're gonna end up cutting Allen Robinson because they brought him in as a veteran, and they really expected him to pick up where he had left off in years past. Um, cutting Allen Robinson, he only had 34 catches for 280 yards. Cutting him will save him $10 million instantly. So that's a no brainer. You know, they always stay right at the salary cap trying to get as much talent as they possibly can. When they're about to give someone a deal, I usually go and restructure. Cam Hayward went on a podcast, and I don't agree with what he said and how he said it because that's just not professional in my mind. I love Cam, but he said, I'm not taking a pay cut regardless. I don't care. You just don't. Come on, man. You can't be doing that. Better than that. Oh. And then set to be free agents Levi Wallace, Chandon Sullivan, James Pierre, all free agents this offseason. Patrick Peterson moved to safety for part of the 2023 year, as I said. I really think that if he stays there, he will extend his career. But if he tries to play corner, he's done. Because as we've seen every time he played corner, he got chewed up. Um, and the Steelers just it seems like every year they make the playoffs and they go flat. I think that Arthur Smith coming in, if you look at him years past, you have to totally delete from your mind the Atlanta Falcons tenure because he's not here as the head coach. The head coach has 10 times more responsibility than the offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator only has to worry about half of the 53-man roster. The head coach has to worry about the whole 53 man. He got to worry about the practice squad. He's got to worry about injuries. He's got to worry about the defense. He's got to worry about coaches and conduct and personnel and keeping a locker room together and all that and dealing with the media and being an OC is hard enough, but being a successful head coach is a completely different ball game. I'm not a coach. I volunteered and coached a little bit of high school ball and a little bit of middle school JV, but it's different. They have a coach and an assistant coach, but it's OC is way different than a head coach. Just saying. Head coach has to deal with everybody from the owner all the way down to the idiot that has the camera and the microphone. Guys like me. Um, the offensive coordinator might have to deal with the media once in a great while, but they don't have to deal with it constantly, and they don't have to deal with 950 other things going on. So there's that. I honestly think Arthur Smith he checks a lot of the boxes. Um, I like the fact that he's a veteran. I like the fact that he's offensive minded. Obviously, if he's an OC, but I think his brand, his style of offensive play calling will click in Pittsburgh. Because remember, if you, like I said, delete the Atlanta tenure because he's not our head coach. Go back to when he only had a few weapons in Tennessee: Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, whatever. Um, Go back to that period of time and look at how he handled that. Run heavy, um, using multiple backs. He had Henry, but he also had that other kid that was speedy there for a couple of years. I don't remember his name because I don't watch Titans ball. But um, he last year, myself and a whole bunch of other media talking heads, they said the Steelers need to run the ball. Run the ball, and use play action and RPO to spread the defense. Do away with Atlanta because he wasn't making the offensive play calls half the time. Go down back into your memory and dig up the Tennessee Titans. He was a run heavy offensive coordinator. Um, and he was big on the play action. Big on the play action. Trying to see exactly what was going on. Yeah, Arthur Smith has a net worth of $6 million. Who cares? In his time during the Titans, he was a run heavy coach. He had that run game, I believe. Where's it at? He's 41 years old. Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator at the Titans 1990 or 2019 to 2020. 2 years as offensive coordinator. The 2 years that Arthur Smith was the OC in Tennessee. Derrick Henry was the offensive player of the year in 2020 with an astounding 2,027 yards and 17 rushing touchdowns. With Smith running the offense, the Titans didn't just run the ball successfully, they also ranked 10th in scoring offense and ranked 4th in scoring in 2022. So he had that team ranking 10th in 19 and 4th in scoring offensive plays in 2022. Before he became the OC, he coached many different scenarios of the Titans organization. He has been assistants to such coaches as Joe Gibbs, Jim Zorn, Mike Munchak, Ken Wisenhunt, Mike Mularkey, and Mike Vrabel. Think about that. Here's a few that were affiliated with the Steelers, whether they were going to. I know Wisenhunt was the runner-up to Tomlin, so he's a pretty good. Mike Mularkey, good coach. Mike Munchak, I'd love to have him back as the offensive lines coach. Nonetheless, and they wanted NFL experience. But he has NFL experience. The Steelers, before pretty much pulling the trigger, interviewed Thomas Brown, Jared Johnson, and a few others. And what this is going to do for me is this is basically going to once and for all decide if Kenny Pickett is able to be the man. Well, I don't know. I think it's a good move because he's an offensive coordinator, and when he had a good running back, he was the OC. Like I said, 2019 they ranked 10th, 2020 they ranked 4th. Or is that backwards? Did I say that backwards again? Nonetheless, he's a good running back. You know, he's a good OC because we have the weapons for a play caller like this gentleman. I want to ask you once if you do me a big favor, hop down there over to YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment for me once or twice down below. Got the weekly show here. Um, After this week, probably only going to put shorts up until I'm done moving. Um, because moving is a daunting process. Probably not going to be no weekly shows for 2-3 weeks, but I will keep in touch with you. I will still drop shorts. You can still find me in my group, Facebook. It's called Pittsburgh Sports 365, the one, the only, the best group on Facebook, the only troll-free group on Facebook, and the only group that only invites 100% certified users. Can't help it. My mods and my admins are the shiznit, man. You can take that minute and go check them out. Once again, Pittsburgh Sports 365. I love y'all. Thank you for stopping by.